The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Good day, good people. Welcome to another fun-filled, purposeful episode of Lessons for the Journey. The purpose of this podcast is to share insights and information on women's wellness, understanding our whys, and the lessons that inspire us to take positive actions in ourselves, our families, and our communities. Our topics focus on women's wellness, seeing through a metaphysical lens, sharing spiritual insights, highlights of our journey, and building healthy relationships. I am your host, Dr. Hetheru, and I share this space with engaging co-hosts, guests, inspired topics every Friday at noon for a transformative 1-hour experience here on Podcastic Live and Facebook. You can expect deep, thought-provoking conversation on self-discovery and personal growth, special guests, locations, events, people, polls, and thoughts, co-hosts sharing wisdom and life-changing insights, a powerful blend of spiritual, metaphysical, and wellness lessons, and tools and strategies to help you elevate your mind, your body, and your spirit. Our show is produced by Chantel Mosley of Podcasting Studios. Our co-hosts, Ma'at Sabah, Mary E. Bayou, Nicole S. Miller, and special appearances by Dr. Calvin T. Mann. If you are seeking clarity, healing, personal empowerment, this podcast is for you. So tune in, engage, and transform because your journey to self-discovery starts now. But before you get started, we need for you to do a few things. We need for you to get your water. We need for you to get your journal or your notebook and your ink pen because today, as in every episode, there are some nuggets that you're going to want to take away with you. And so today is no exception to that rule, but we encourage you to get ready, get prepared. Tune in because your journey of self-discovery starts now. Our amazing topic for today is the intimate space of if. That is the IF, right? And we really want you to see how this really is part of a divine plan. And there are things that you're going to hear today that are going to make you think more deeply. I want you to mark that, put a pin in it, make a memory imprint of it so that you can take this with you throughout the day. This intimate space of if is when you hear it and you start to understand the full concept of it, is going to liberate and empower you. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you today and our co-hosts and their feedback. But before we get started, we always have to set and frame our mind, right, to prepare for what's coming. And so we do that through a reflection called either Ma'at Memos or Me, Myself, and I. And these are reflective cards that are designed by Ma'at Sabah, who is our motivational healer, who is also one of our co-hosts. We pull these cards to gain deeper insight. So we're going to get started with our card. I think we did the Me, Myself, and I today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to go in the middle of the deck.
Okay.
And see what is deliciously for me today.
Oh, where'd this come from?
Oh, Ma dropped her own card.
Okay.
The spirit gave her a card.
I don't want to answer this.
You cannot
Spirit
answer.
got jokes and it's never funny.
Look.
Never.
I know, right? If you could only have 3 items of worth to you, what would they be and why? Ooh, 3 items of worth. Okay, so 2 of them are really easy for me. The third one, I need to give a little more thought to, but maybe if I talk about them, it'll help me. The 2 most valuable items to me of worth are my journal and a pen. I have to write. I have to write it down. I have to write to it. I have to write through it. I have to write because of it. I have to write. It is the most soothing and settling space that allows me to see myself. It's better than a mirror to me. So the third item, I know this is going to sound strange, but this is what came up. I need my cup of tea. I need my cup of tea for hydrating, for the calming. I actually like vanilla chai. That's one of my favorites. That's my season of vanilla chai. So that's where I sit in my tea game. Yeah, those would be the three things that for me have the most worth. If I'm locked into my cabin space, if I'm in these are the three things that in terms of objects. I almost went into dirty jokes, but in terms of items of worth for me, I know, right? That was too grown a moment. So I would need my journal and my pen so that I could write my thoughts, my reflections, and I could always go back and recenter myself when I'm lost in thought, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I need to reset. I always go back to that space. And then the tea, really for hydration, to help settle my spirit and calm me. And, a form of water is really important when you are in that reflective space, too. So I'll take that with the tea.
I thought you were going to say computer.
Oh, no. No, I mean, I can go there, but the things that I would need most valuable is my ability to write.
Yeah.
The process, because it's a whole many so many spiritual principles attached to actually writing on paper than it is the computer. So all right.
Yes. So my card says, do you feel appreciated? If not, in what ways and by whom?
Ooh.
Gotta do it. Can we pass the buck to the left?
Right, no pass.
In what ways? For the most part, I do feel appreciated. In ways that I don't feel appreciated, maybe by not fully being heard, or just understood, or kind of, the reciprocation of just showing up in whatever that looks like, in whatever space that looks like. So, yeah, but for the vast majority and the vast part, I do feel appreciated.
Blessings. All right, what fell out of your sky, Mom?
Like I said, Spirit got jokes and it's never funny.
Yeah, we got all of us today.
Never.
Yeah, all of us.
So I didn't even get a chance to dig in the bag. This card was sitting right here on the table. It says, are you on your own priority list in life? If not, why not?
Uh-oh.
Right. So that's a discussion that I've had within the last couple of weeks. Well, consistently, but in the last couple of weeks, and within myself. Gonna do. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna change my diet. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And for some reason, I haven't achieved those. And that's because it's not a priority. Because if it was a priority, I would do it. So, looking at why, and this has been a long-standing thing with me, it's like I'll put everything and everybody else first. And then whatever's left, mothers do that.
Yes, I was
all the time. You get
disconnected to that.
Yeah, you get conditioned to do that, and put yourself last. And I think that's where that came from. And then seeing it too in my mom. My mom's a giver, and if it's 4 pieces of chicken and it's 4 people, she just won't get any. So I learned that from her. And now we're working with her to put herself first. Like you pave the way for everybody else. Whatever you want, that's what you get. So I'm trying to get that lesson before I get, any further on in life. And more importantly is to examine yourself as to why do you not value yourself to put yourself first? Not in a selfish way. Like I'm going to get mine and forget everybody else. Not like that.
Right.
But the things that are important, like your health is important. You know, the older you get, you do go into a decline. You know, your mind stays the same, but your body doesn't get the message some kind of way. And so you do go into decline. And so the older you get, you have to put more energy into keeping your body up. You know, so I guess this is another tap on the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll pass your card on. Speaking of these cards, to me, myself, and I, clearly as you sit with us through how we questioned and responded to it, we hope that you took some time to respond to it for yourself, to each of the 3 questions that were asked. Where you get these, right? We got a couple of things going on today. We have a demonstration, so first, we want you to understand where you can get your Ma'at memos. But one of the tools that Ma'at has brought today for us to use is her pendulum. So we're going to go through an exercise that's going to really bring some clarity to our topic today about the intimate space of if. What we're going to experience today is what that intimate space looks like energetically. Okay? And so we're going to pause and we're going to bring you your tool, your pathway to get your tools, including the pendulum. But we're going to break for a commercial and we're going to come back ready for the demonstration. So stay tuned. Stay with us.
Okay, so hopefully you can hear us. So what we're going to do is we all have energy fields around us, which is how you sense things. You feel energy like when you come into a room, whether it be positive or negative. You feel energy around certain people. You could go in somewhere and you start to feel really uncomfortable. And that's your aura, your energy field is picking these sensations and these energies up. And even though we can't see them, generally speaking, most people can't see them, some people can. And what they look like is like an egg shape around your body. And they would be different colors based upon your mindset at the time, whether you're positive, whether you're negative, whether you are in a good space, whether you're angry or grieving or whatever. This aura will change colors. Green with envy is like one, that's where some of these sayings come from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check her energy field and how far her energy field extends out. And we are all connected. You cannot not be connected to each other. We're connected to each other in this room. We're energy connected to everything in the world and everything in creation. Our energy fields extend out infinitum. That's why we feel the energy from other planets and the moon. When it's a full moon, police, EMS, hospitals know that they're going to have more activity during that time, more bursts. So, without further ado, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check your energy field. So I want you to think something positive. Now, the way the pendulum works is pendulums pick up energies and sensations. This is nothing new. It's not hokey pokey. It's not witchcraft. There's something called dowsing, like back in the day, and to this day, they use sticks to find water and things under the ground. This picks up subtle energy. I do energy work and healings, and so this is one of the devices that I use to assist me in detecting fluctuations in energy. So this is the way that this works is it will swing in a circle if it's positive. If it's negative, it will swing back and forth. That will change based upon the person, because someone's positive can be back and forth and their negative can be circular. So, but for me, yes is in a circle, or positive is in a circle, no is back and forth, or it will stop, period. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check your energy field right now just to see if it swings in a circle, then you're in a positive space. Just to show you how far your aura extends outside of your body. When this stops, okay, you want to follow me with the camera. When this stops, that's how far this aura is extending. You see how strong the swing is. Okay, this is as far as the wall. I can't go any further. So you can see that her energy field is extending beyond the wall. Now I want you to think of something not necessarily pleasant. And let me know when you're ready. Something painful.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You ready? Okay, you see we got a negative swing here. And it's getting stronger. Okay, that's going out past the wall. Now, I asked her to get into a negative space. I don't want her to stay there. I want you to be in a positive space. Change your energy, change your thoughts. I'm going to lift you up. We want to lift you up. And
I'm thinking about hugs.
Hugs. And your baby's face when you first saw him. And chocolate cake.
Ooh, chocolate.
Dessert before dinner.
Yes.
Vanilla chai. You ready? Okay. Okay. This is even a stronger swing than before. Okay. So we're back to the wall. So you can see just how fast this pendulum is affected by just the shift in her consciousness, a shift in her thinking. Instantaneously, her energy field went from positive to negative. All right, so how you want me to?
All right, so we're going to pick back up. So we're going to get back on our mic so that you can hear us and join us for this topic for today.
Okay. Whew.
Right, it really is an incredible space to be. Like the hair is standing on my arms now, y'all. So our conversation today is around the intimate space of if. That is the IF. And I want you to know that this is part of the greater divine plan. And this is how it was given to me. So we have a couple of questions for reflection before we get started with the topic. So here's a conversation I always pitch to my aunt first. What's the longest you have held the intention for something you wanted, and how long did it take to manifest? So what's the longest you've held an intention for something that you wanted? And how long did it take to manifest?
The longest, that's the tough part. Probably I'm not sure about the longest, but the first one that comes to my mind is the car that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
I had a what they call a duct tape car. before that, and I knew that I needed to get something else because the car was old. It drove really well, but it was old. It was having some aesthetic issues, and then you know how it is. 15 years old, one thing starts to break, and then another one. And so I knew I needed another car, and I wanted another car, but I didn't want another duct tape car. I wanted to get something that was reflective of what I knew that I deserved. But I'm not a car person, so I didn't know what kind of car I wanted, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm tall, so I know I needed something that would fit me comfortably. And so I just set my intention on what I needed. And I said, I need something that's good on mileage, that is comfortable, that gives me the leg room that I needed, that was in excellent condition, even if whether it was new or used, no to low mileage, and some other things. I don't remember what else I said, and I thought about it, and then I just left it. You know, I didn't harp on it. I just saying I need another car, and these are things that I want. And then this one, the car that I have now, I absolutely love it. I have everything that I asked for and more, because it's technically a luxury car. I didn't know till I got in it. It has lots of bells and whistles that I didn't even know cars had. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can get used to this. But remember, I said something that I felt I was worthy of. And I wasn't expecting all of that. But when it came to me and I saw all the bells and whistles, that helped confirm what I was worthy of. Yeah, so.
Awesome. So what would you say is like the timeline between your initial thought, okay, I got to get a new car, versus when the car actually showed up in your possession? What is it, like weeks, months?
It was months. I'm thinking maybe 6 months.
Okay.
So it wasn't very long.
Wow. Let's see. So for me, I can say that something that I wanted and I held the intention for was this podcast. I had in like 2016, I had a blog talk show, radio show. So it was all audio. I wanted to have a platform where I could get the message, the lessons out to people, and to help empower, encourage, and inspire them on their journey of self-discovery. And so I started in 2016, and I did, I don't know how many episodes, like 70 episodes. And then that went into 2017. My journey changed. I got invited by my aunt to be a writer for Detroit Native Sun, and there I wrote for several years articles for the Lessons for the Journey. So that was my second platform for holding the intention for getting the message out for the Lessons for the Journey. And then we started our Put Your Family First podcast, and I want to say that was just after the pandemic, so probably 2022. I think it was 2022, 2023, 2023, I think. And so we did the Put Your Family First podcast. And while the restoration of family is extremely important, for me, it's about the lessons in our journey that really liberate us. And so, and thanks to Chantel Mosley, our producer, who encouraged it and made this platform available. How long has it been? It's been a year or over a year? So we're going into almost 2 years now, right? So I would say from 2016, when I started this journey, this process, to almost 2026. So that's almost a good 10 years. So, but I never stopped holding the intention for Lessons for the Journey and what the impact that it could have on others and their others' lives, because it's not just our lessons. Our lessons are not just for us. It is to help people. It's not a shortcut, but it is the wisdom out of the lessons that help support others. And so that is probably the longest and how long it took me to manifest our Lessons for the Journey podcast right now. Chantel, you want to take a stab at the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, it was moving. So I knew from my last apartment I was gonna have to move. Didn't know. I know I wanted to stay in the same area, but I didn't know where I was gonna go. The whole 9 applications, security deposits, the whole 9. I'm going to look. But it wasn't until I went to a workshop, Ms. Heather, that you actually had, and in that particular workshop, we planted a seed. It was the seed of a flower, and we were told to plant it there, water it, and it grow. And we had to write on a little sport that goes in there something that we were either manifesting or wanting. I put health, and then I put home or new home, because I think we put it on a spoke and we put it around the cup. So shortly after that, a few months after that, I end up moving into my apartment, and I still have the cup. It sits right in my kitchen.
Oh,
I have it right there because I'm like, I feel like it's because of you I'm here. But manifesting is real. It's a real thing.
Planting that seed was real.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, and that's such a good. That's such a good introduction to the conversation that we're about to have today. So I'm going to hold the second reflection question so we can get into the topic. So the topic is the intimate space of if, this is the IF, is not only a plan, but the space where intention can become reality. There is a secret and sacred chamber at the very center of your being, a space no larger than 18 inches from your body, which we saw today, yet more expansive than galaxies. And that's when Ma talks about it being infinitum. While some know it as subtle energy bodies, I call this the intimate space of if. If is the birthplace of your faith. If is the whisper of your imagination. If is the room where your hope, healing, and hidden desires breathe before they ever become a vision in your life. This intimate zone starts inside of you and includes the closest sphere of 0 to 18 inches out, where hugs are given and received, where you hold somebody's hand, where you whisper and somebody might hear you. This space is set from the secret inner thoughts and includes the sacred intersection of your spirit, your emotions, and your God-centered connection. It is where affirmations rest on your lips, where intentions are quiet but powerful, and where you cradle visions not yet birthed into the world. It's also the first place where fear, doubt, insecurity, and longing take root. What you allow in this space becomes the architect of your reality. This is your alignment as a co-creator with God. Your if is not imaginary. It is neurological, emotional, and spiritual transformation and infrastructure. So, as we go into this conversation today, I really want you to make sure that you're taking notes, because there is going to be some nuggets here for you to take away. Even if you understand or don't understand it all, take what you need today, okay? So I broke this up in, I think, 4 parts, maybe it's 5. Anyway, the first part is why this is a science. And it says science confirms what spirit has always known. Your if, the energy, imagination, intention, and insight you hold closest literally reshapes your body, your health, your decisions, and your destiny. Here's what it confirms. So these are 5 things that it confirms. Number 1, your thoughts alter your biology. Researchers estimate that 75 to 98% of all mental, physical, and behavioral illnesses are rooted in thought patterns, stress, and emotional disposition. Your if is the first place these patterns are formed. The second item, the body responds instantly to imagination. Brain scans show that when you imagine an experience, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if the experience were happening in real time. We actually rehearse our future. The third one, your energy field extends from your heart out 3 to 10 feet, but the strongest and most measurable impact is within that first 0 to 18 inches, again, where you saw with the pendulum, where the intimate zone is strongest and measured by your heartbeat, your breath rhythm, and emotional frequency. This also means that if radiates even before you speak. Number 4 is nonverbal communication accounts for up to 93% of emotional meaning, and the majority of its exchange is close proximity. This is also where you hold how it affects how others read you, receive you, and respond to you, even when you don't say anything. Number 5 is hope increases survival. Studies show patients with strong belief in possibilities, that's the if I can get better, have up to 50% higher recovery rates from major illnesses. So this is just what science says. This is not all into the metaphysical. This is just what science has already proven to us. So if you take nothing else from this, take this, that science has already proved that what you think, what you say, holding that intention actually makes a difference in your life. And so when we talk about this, and please jump in here, when we have these conversations and we talk about how you are a co-creator in your own world, and why what you create in your mind and what you say with your words and what you do in your actions make a difference in what we're seeing today. What we're seeing today is a compilation of all of us. Our collective thoughts, just like my aunt talked about, we're all interconnected. This is about collective thought. This is about then the words that we use to affirm that collective thought, and then the actions that we take behind it to create and manifest what we are seeing today. Your thoughts on this, Ma? The science of it.
The first one, where your thoughts alter your biology, says 75 to 98% of all mental, physical, and behavioral illnesses are rooted in thought patterns, stress, and emotional disposition. So we know that that's true because, we had a health food store, we still do. And when people come in the store and they have a particular health issue, first of all, I can sense them. And second of all, based upon what they say, lets me know what's really going on with them emotionally. Because whether they realize it or not, their consciousness, their thoughts are directly related to the health challenge that they have. I gave an example before about a young boy, father brought his son in who was having stomach issues. And as I got to talking to the father, the issue was it was stress related because of the tension between the mother and the father in the home. And so the child was experiencing stomach and digestion issues. So, I shared with him that, you all need to resolve that, not within the earshot of the children. We said the body responds instantly to imagination. And the experience that I thought about was, have you ever watched a video of somebody sitting in the first seat of a roller coaster? Mm-hmm. And when you look at it, when it goes down the steep hill, you feel that in your stomach.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You're not on the roller coaster.
Right.
But your brain doesn't know that. Mm. The brain only it's only a receiver and transmitter, but it can't distinguish between what's real and what's not. So I thought about that when how the body's responding to what the mind what the mind is thinking. The energy field extends out from the heart 3 to 10 feet. Again, I talked about how we sense energy, how we sense people. And now your energy field, depending how strong it is, will also determine how strongly you feel and sense other people's energy. Mm. You can feel a person's energy from across the room on the other part of the planet. I shared another experience that my sister was in Egypt, and I was at work, and all of a sudden I had this horrible feeling in my gut. And I'm like, something's wrong. And I knew it had to do with her because I could just sense that it was her. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped everything I was doing and I prayed for her. I didn't know what was happening. She was in Egypt. We had no contact. I wasn't going to hear from her until she came back. And then when she came back and shared what went on, she was in a situation that was potential life-threatening. And we pinned it to the day. I said, was it at a Wednesday? And she said, yeah. And so I knew that that's what that was. Mm-hmm. So I think we take for granted our energy and our intuition about things and how important that is. Nonverbal communication accounts for 93% of emotional meaning. Well, we're all taught nonverbal commands when you're a child. You know when your parents are not happy with you. You know when they are. You know when you're in trouble. When you get that look in the grocery store because you're trying to touch things. Mm-hmm. You get shot that look. So the way that the head tilts, flipping the hair. Women flip the hair. Men, if they hunch the shoulders up or stand in a certain way. Those are nonverbal communications. Mm-hmm. So, and then hope increases survival. Usually when a person is sick, people around them that are coming to support them will say words of encouragement, even if it really is bleak, Mm-hmm. You still try and give the person words of encouragement and words of hope, and don't let them hold on to any negative thinking and negative thoughts. Because I tell people God gets the final say.
That's right.
And so just because the doctor tells you something, I've shared with people who came in the store and had these, they were given days, months, or whatever to live. I said, God gets the final say. Right. Do you know how many dead customers I have walking in here?
Yes.
Based upon what the doctor told them?
Right.
So your belief is everything.
It's everything.
So what you put in your mind is food. Be careful how you eat mentally.
That sounds like a mod memo.
Yeah, it does.
Well, when you said that about the hope increases survival, that's, for any condition, medical condition, there is so much conversation in media about holding that intention for yourself, about using laughter instead of feeling sorry for yourself or feeling sad. That's what this is talking about. That is exactly what this is talking about. And when you talked about dead customers, it's funny because I remember I had my oldest brother. He was in a coma 2 times. The first time he was in a coma, the doctors called us all to the hospital and said, we're not expecting him to make it. He's been in a coma. And he had been in a coma for for several weeks. He had been in this coma. And so we all came in, and my uncle, who was a minister, he said to everybody who was there, he said, we're going to pray for him, because we're going to pray our intention to hold for him. And if you don't have the faith, you need to leave the room. Mm-hmm. And so for those who really were not prayer warriors, they left the room. And we prayed over my brother, and he came out of the coma like, I was just having, like he came up and started having a conversation. He had not had any no movement, no responding, but at the end of that prayer, he opened his eyes and started to talk. Mm-hmm. And, I was like, okay, so, not only did I witness that for my brother, I witnessed that for myself, right? And so it's real. It's real. And so this is what Lessons for the Journey is really about, so that you can find your hope, you can find your place, and you can find your tools of your own self-exploration, knowing that these are things that have already worked or have been used in other situations. If it works for me, it will work for you, right? All right, so part 2 is consistent. Oh, Chantel, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? To our part 1, because it's a lot of juice in there. Is there something you want to add? Okay, she's taking it all in. Okay, so part 2 is consistent intention. Setting activates the brain reticular activation system. And so this is about what is happening within your brain too, and its influence on your if, right? We're talking about the IF, the intimate space of IF, that space that is within you out to 18 inches, right? So setting intention in the intimate space of if increases your likelihood of achieving a goal by up to 42%, simply by holding the intention closely, revisiting it often, and exactly what happens inside of your if. So what you are thinking that you want, the likelihood of it coming true, you already have a 42% likelihood of its coming true. if, right, in your intimate space of if, you hold the intention. When you're holding the intention, that means you have to fight off the fear, the doubt, and the insecurity. You have to keep fighting that off by holding the intention and then adding to that. You add to this intention by your affirmation. So holding the thought, thinking of it in different ways, thinking about it from different points of view. You can go, if it's something that you can see that you want to model, maybe it's a house that you're manifesting, right? That you're holding the intention for. You need to furnish that house. You need to paint that house. You need to think about the good times you're going to have in that house. These are the ways that you have to fight off the doubt. Because also, I want you to also be a part of this thinking where you are a co-creator with God. So God already planted the vision in your mind. You couldn't have had the thought if it wasn't in the same mind as God. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as a co-creator, your part in the creation process is, well, if you go back to Genesis, right? Creation of the earth, the world, it was spoken. First it had to be a thought. Then it was spoken, let there be light. So your process as a co-creator is to speak that thing into existence. So let there be my house that I want. And the final thing was the manifestation of it, right? Your part is the action that is taken. Your part is the action that is taken. So what actions are you taking toward the house, toward the marriage, toward the relationship, toward the business, toward the book, toward the travel, whatever that thing is for you, toward peace in your life? Whatever that thing is, right? You have to hold the intention for it, but you got to pull more details, right? More details, because you're creating what that's going to look like. Creation takes details. It takes imagination, right? But it's not limited to your imagination. Imagination is creation process. That's creation in progress, imagination, because that's pulling all the details. What are the colors? My aunt's car, she may or may not have a color in mind, right? She knew that she wanted something that was worthy of her, that she deserved. She didn't know that she was getting the luxury that she got, because it is a nice car, by the way. But all of the things that she wanted, right? She had to create the room, the leg room that was important to her. She had to create some of the things that she really needed, the space. She had to create that before it happened. So when you're in this space, this is your creation space. So pull details in to help you offset the doubt, the insecurity. You're not talking about how it's going to happen. You're just creating the happening, right? Your role is not in the how. Mm-hmm. That's not your space. That's the God space, right? That's the God space. You stay in your lane. Your lane is to create, and then to affirm, and then to do that work that goes along with it. She had to eventually go and get in the car. That was her final action step. Go get in the car and drive off, because that's my car, right? That's her final action. So when you're thinking about this is really an important piece. I want you to know, but it has to be consistent. Mm-hmm. It has to be consistent and intentional. Consistent and intentional. Okay, so prayer and meditation reduces stress hormones by up to 50%, lowers blood pressure, and increases emotional regulation. These practices are most powerful when they're done in your intimate spiritual space, and the inner space and the space within 18 inches. That space could be prayer. That space could be your prayer book, your prayer cloth, your prayer closet. It could be your meditation space, your mat that you do yoga on. It could be along the sound bowl. Anything that's within that 18 inches, you want to use as your tools to affirm, right? What you're speaking. It could be something that you're reading, something that you wrote on your mirror. All of that affirmation, speaking those words, and then the action behind it happening within those 18 inches. What are you doing within that 18 inch to make that thing that you are holding the intention for happen? And then the last one is human touch is in that intimate space, that 0 to 18 inches, right? Having somebody close to you, close enough to hear you whisper, close enough to touch you, is within that 18 inches. So remember what is happening in that 18 inches. That's really important. Also, this is the range where oxytocin, okay. The bonding hormone, which reduces fear, increases trust, and enhances healing. The same effect happens when you touch your own heart, your affirmations, or the intentions that you hold with sincerity. You can touch your own heart. That's one of the reasons why I wear my H over my heart. That's important to me. That's my intention. Holding the intention for myself, and where I am is actually on my jacket, but I do wear it all the time. Right. Okay, so any thoughts on there about holding an intention? My aunt Chantel, any thoughts?
I do feel like you have to be intentional, because otherwise, if you're not intentional, you're just doing. But you may not be doing, and it actually makes a difference, serves a purpose. So I definitely feel as though being intentional and actually speaking what it is as though what you want is important. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it'll definitely change and affect the outcome for sure.
And, if you don't have the detail, that means you're leaving it up to interpretation. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want this tall, dark, and handsome man. Mm-hmm. He can be very tall. He can be 7 foot tall, and you're 3 foot tall. He can be very, very dark, and he can be handsome, and doesn't talk or speaks a totally different language from you. He can play video games all day and not play with you. I mean, there are all kinds of details. Mm-hmm. You get the thing that you want, but you didn't put any substance to it.
Right.
But you got what you asked for. So make sure as you're holding the intention that you're building, because you're a co-creator. You're creating as you go. So bring in the details. Bring in the details, as many as you want to and as many as you need to shape what you are creating. Ma, any thoughts on that?
So when you talk about creating intention, well, there's a couple of things. One, when you desire something, like I wanted and I needed a new car. I didn't want another duct tape car. So I had to actively look for one, look for the thing that I wanted. But I also set the intention that I know that there's forces that work on my behalf that are going to bring me the best thing for me. So let's say, for instance, I wanted it and I wanted to have it in 3 weeks or something like that. Well, it took me a couple of months because I could have probably manifested a car in 3 weeks, but would have been the ideal car? Maybe not. So, but patience for that thing to happen, because there's dynamics in place that you don't know anything about to assist you in manifesting that thing that you desire. That car belonged to somebody else. Maybe I had to wait for that person to get it, to sell it, get it to the dealership in order for me to have it. And that took 6 months to have. So set your intention and know that the universe is conspiring to work to your benefit.
Yes.
Also, desiring somebody and then sitting back there with your arms crossed and your feet up on the cocktail table just waiting for it to show up, yeah, it might. But the energy that you put behind it, and the more intention and the more information that you give assists in speeding up you manifesting that thing and getting exactly what you want. Mm. I was given an example. Spirit showed me an example of a smorgasbord. Like when you go somewhere and like say you go into the restaurant and you ask people, well, what do you want? Well, get me anything. No, I'm not going to do that. Tell me exactly what you want, because you tell me that you say get anything and okay, so I got you some meatloaf, sweet peas, and rice. And you hate sweet peas, rice, and meatloaf, but you didn't tell me though. You should have said, I want short ribs with mashed potatoes and gravy, collard greens, and cornbread. So I'm making them. Am I hungry? But you didn't say that. And so because you weren't specific, sometimes you get whatever.
Right.
And so it's really important to put the energy into that thing that you desire. Going back earlier when you talked about the longest, I've been wanting and planning on doing a podcast. I've been wanting to do this for what, two years now?
I said the talk show, but anyway.
So, but I have been actively putting things into place to make that thing happen. I made the calls, talking to the producer, talking to the platforms that are going to host the thing. What is it going to cost? What is my background? Do I need a backdrop? What am I going to wear? You know, so I'm putting in the energy to support the intention for the universe to give me exactly what it is that I desire in its exact perfect timing. Mm-hmm. So I'm patient. I don't want it just because I want it. I wanted a lot of stuff, and when I got it because I wanted it, I wish that I hadn't, or it wasn't really what I desired, because there were too many things in play that I didn't factor in. And so I'm very patient, because I know when that thing comes to me, it's going to be exactly what I desire.
Woo-hoo. Yes. All right. So the intimate space of if is transformational. When your if space is transformational, it has the power to turn wishes into your will, desires into decisions, imagination turns into instruction, and faith turns into form. What initiates the inner transformation includes, here's my process, you guys. This is my compass. It's my compass for change. It's called new information. Mm-hmm. So today, our prayer is that you got some new information. And because of the source, you appreciate the information and where it came from. Therefore, you're more willing to apply the information that you got today. And once you start in the application process, start doing it, then you start to see the transformation. But that's not the end. You want to be elevated to the next level from the transformation. Mm-hmm. You don't want to just transform and stay in that space. You want to elevate to the next level, so that the next process for you includes the elevated vision of you, coming from you and for you. That's where we're headed. Elevation, not just transformation. It doesn't stop there, right? Okay, and so it's the place where you hold and recognize that your if really is the elevation to the I am, as a co-creator in your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So your whispered prayers become the I am. I am loved. I am a homeowner. I am a car owner. I am a podcast host. I am an actress. I am an author. You elevate to the I am stage, right? That is where you're reaching for. That is what elevation looks like, where you can put I am in front of it. I am indicates your relationship with the creator. You are a co-creator, therefore you are the I am as well, okay? All right, so your deepest heartbreaks, your quiet victories, your boldest ifs. If I heal, if I love again, if I launch this business, if God truly is with me, if I become the woman I can feel but cannot see yet, that's where your if is. Your if is in the process of becoming. There are steps to that becoming: new information, appreciation of that information, applying that information, the action that you take. That is how you are creating and putting in the details and what you're saying about it and what you're doing about it, right? That is the application. You are transformed by that, by those actions, into the elevated version of your I am. When you speak, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am all of those things, take a process. And so it starts with that intimate space of if. That intimate space of if is where it's all created. And so lastly, this space holds your sacred potential and your silent sabotage. Your silent sabotage. Protecting and purifying your intimate if is essential. The emotional reality of the if space drives most people to miss the opportunity to honor their if, because they let others into that space without permission. They allow doubt and fear to stand closer to them than faith or possibility. They rehearse limitations instead of liberation, and they forget that every transformation begins in the quietest part of their inner life. But when you reclaim the intimate space of if, you reclaim the power to design your own life. So, our prayer and our journey of self-discovery today is about that intimate space of if. And so, Ma, do you have any? We have some commercials that we want to share with you guys too. We're gonna come back and let my aunt give her final words and how to reach her. So if you can tune in to our last days of our fundraiser cookie drive, we have the She Can Too movement, also the Pink movement, She Can Heal Too. That movement is still going on, and the She Can Too movement for all women who are moving into the direction of the I am, right? And then also our book club, our monthly book club is Wednesday, November 19th. And so here's some details on how you get connected. And the book club is featuring my book, Patch of Grass, and that's how you can connect too.
As for the Lessons for the Journey book club, for women who love to read, for women who love to chat, for women who love tea, for women who love sharing time. Today's feature for our monthly book is Patch of Grass by Dr. Hetheru. Patch of Grass is about defining your sacred space. This easy-to-read, self-taught, step-by-step guide will help you navigate your journey of self-discovery. Come and share with some friends over a cup of tea and a great conversation.
We have had a great conversation today. I want to make sure that my aunt has an opportunity to tell you a little bit about where you can be found.
Alrighty. Well, you can email me at relationshipfirstaid@yahoo. Website is relationshipfirstaid.com. Facebook, Instagram, new to TikTok is Relationship First Aid. So we'll keep it simple.
Tell us about some of the products that you have too, so that people who are looking for tools know where to go.
So I carry crystals, different types of incenses, sage smudge sticks, incense burners, pendulums, Palo Santo, my books, the deck cards, my aunt's memos, the shared, the Me, Myself, and I, which is those we've been using. Shared intimacies are a 2-deck set where people in relationships get to know each other on deeper levels. And then the Tie That Binds is a new set to come out as well in 2026, and that is questions that parents to child that they ask each other to get to know them on a deeper level. And those you can email me or DM me on any of the social media platforms. Right.
Thank you. Chantel, give us a little bit about your podcast and then how people can also reach you.
Yes, you can find me on one podcastic at One Step Closer. Check out yesterday's episode. It was titled Before and After, and it was just bringing you guys into my world and giving a little bit of information. So definitely tap in.
And that's on Thursdays at
1 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's also on Facebook, live on Facebook.
Yes.
All right. And so for me, your inspired journey, I am Dr. Hetheru, and I am excited to share all the different ways that you can tap in and plug in for this journey. So our podcast every Friday at noon. You can also see us on Put Your Family First, which is our podcast on Mondays at 4. And Lessons for the Journey you can find on YouTube. You can find on Facebook. You can connect with me. You can Google all the things that are available. There are, for 2026, you'll have my greeting card lines to tap into. You'll have more short films that you can tap into. You'll have more books that you can tap into. Again, this is about the journey. We want to make every opportunity available to you to get you one step closer to who you are meant to be, because we need you to step up and take your place, your rightful place in the world. Create with us the world that we really want to see, the world that we need, and we need you in it. You are one of the most important pieces of this puzzle. It's you. So if you're looking around and you're wondering who's coming to save you, you're coming to save you, and saving you saves all of us. So we want you to join us next Friday for another exciting episode of Lessons for the Journey. And as you are looking for healthy choices for holiday gifts, join us for our friend raiser cookie box sale, $10 per box. Reach out to me at 313-759-7855. I love that you're reaching out on social media. I love it more when you reach out to me directly. So reach out to me by phone at 313-759-7855, especially if you want to join us for our book club. We have limited seating, but it's going to be a great conversation coming up Wednesday the 19th. See you there. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay clear.